Welcome to Strip Cover Lit, where we squeeze the bigger picture of literature. I'm Adrian Ford, and we are here for what has become a rarer and rarer event here on the channel, a book haul. But it is a book haul which was prompted by the government and a book haul which is necessary for next month here on the channel. As you might or might not know, April is National Poetry Month. So what I'm going to be doing, what I made the incredibly stupid decision to do, is that I'm going to have a poetry discussion every day here on the channel in the month of April. Monday through Sunday, every week, every day, 30 days, 30 poetry reviews. But we're going to maintain Wednesdays for our read-along series as well. So on Wednesdays, there will be two videos drop here on the channel. And I'll get into a little bit of that later. So this is the announcement for that. I have not announced that on this channel yet before. So wish me luck, first off. But the very first book that I have here in the haul, let me see which one I'm going to do. Okay, so I'm going to break things down into artists by the day. So because I like Bukowski, Bukowski's going to have 2 days of the week. Bukowski will have Wednesdays and Fridays next month. And one of these days of the month, I think I'm going to do it on Fridays. I'm going to be doing poems in What Matters Most is How Well You Walk Through the Fire. This is a book that I tried for a very long time to get through Amazon, and I was not able to do so. I am not sure what is going on with Amazon. I seem to get everyone else's mail, but not my own. It was a very weird thing. There was a month and a half there where, a little bit longer now, that I wasn't able to get a lot of the things that I had ordered. I don't know if it was simply because of the backup, because of the pandemic and no one's out, shopping or something like that. But I'm going to be starting a read-along series for What Matters Most is How Well You Walk Through the Fire. I'm going to try to bit and piece this onto the channel here. There's a lot of poems in this thing, and as is the norm with Bukowski, normally, the ones that I've previewed so far anyway, there's at least one main idea that you can really squeeze out of a poetry discussion for one of these poems. Also, during the month of April, Saturdays will be dedicated to Robert Frost. I bought a collection of Robert Frost. I don't think I have any Robert Frost collections, though he does appear in many of the compilations that I have. This is Robert Frost, New Hampshire, winner of the Pulitzer Prize. I'm going to start a read-along for this on the channel as well. So I'm not going to do the introductory poem, New Hampshire, until possibly the end of the series, because I don't know how I want to attack it. It is a 9-page poem. Oh wow, more than that. Ooh, golly. Page 16, but it starts on 13-page poem. And if you don't know, in my poetry discussions, I do a read of the poem on the video. That way we all, whether you have the text or not, we all have the text in mind as the video is going along. So through the month of April on Saturdays, we will get A Star in a Stone Boat, The Census Taker, The Star Splitter, Maple, and I think, is that 3? No, I think that's all of them. That maybe it stopped with the Axe Helve. I don't remember exactly how many Saturdays there are in the month, but the second book that I got was Robert Frost, so I got 2 poetry collections, as I am doing my best to bring more and more poetry to YouTube. And sometime in May, I believe, I will reach 100 videos in the poetry discussion playlist. That 100th video, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do yet. I think I'm just going to bring a bunch of my favorite poems onto the channel and have a very long video, however long that ends up being, or however long I can go on that. I think we'll figure it out as we get closer to it. But just real quick before I move on to the rest of the books in this haul, during April, Mondays will be Langston Hughes, Tuesdays will be Sylvia Plath, Wednesdays will be Charles Bukowski. Thursdays will be Emily Dickinson. Fridays will be Charles Bukowski. And Saturdays will be Robert Frost. And I think what I'm going to do is leave Sundays open to sort of a catch-all. So I think I want to get, what is it? I can never remember what it's called. A Station at the Metro by Ezra Pound and maybe some other, because it's National Poetry Month, right? Not International Poetry Month, but National Poetry Month. So American poets here. I think I'm going to keep with that through Sundays as well. Hopefully, I am doing my part to bring more poetry to the YouTube machine in general. Now, I've got 5 books total, so we're going to just introduce the next one here. This is a book that I've wanted for a very long time, but I've been putting off buying it. The Daily Stoic. I know everything's backwards. I can't get anything to work as far as flipping the image there, but 365 Meditations on Wisdom, Perseverance, and the Art of Living by Ryan Holiday and Stephen Hanselman. I really want to turn this into a series, but at some point there, with a daily series on a daily book, you're going to run into copyright issues, and I don't know where that is. I don't know where the fair use is with that. You've only got one video on one page of the book, but then you would end up covering the entire book in the series. I am not sure the legality of that. I am not sure, even beyond the legality, I'm a little bit uncomfortable with the idea, I think. But it's something that I would like to do. I'm gonna meditate on it a little bit and see if I can come to any better conclusion as far as what the best answer would be for that. It's hard to say. I really enjoy Stoicism, so we're gonna open up to today's date, March 19th, and we'll see what it is today. So there's a lot of quotes from Epictetus or Marcus Aurelius in here. The quote for today would be, "For there are 2 rules to keep at the ready, that there is nothing good or bad outside my own reasoned choice, and that we shouldn't try to lead events, but to follow them." Epictetus from Discourses 3:10-18. That's not the date, by the way. There are some aspects of Stoicism which, depending on the scale at which you accept them, you were to follow the course of events, not try to lead them. At what level? Obviously, I'm not doing anything to influence the President of the United States, but I should be doing things to influence the outcomes in my own life, right? So I think that there's some dichotomy there. There's some room left for scaling as far as Stoicism is concerned, and on what level you want to accept these dictations. But Stoicism has rarely led me astray when I take a step back and I say, okay, it's time to revitalize or reconceptualize things in my life. Stoicism normally gets me to a good common ground where I can then start making progress on my own. Again, like I said, I really want to, if not that, what? If not this book, I want to do Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. I really need to turn that into a series on my personal channel. I'm going to try to leave a link to my personal channel in the description below, by the way, where I'll be doing more philosophy things and read-alongs of nonfiction, as well as just random sort of stuff over there. If you want to go follow me there, that'd be cool too. But yeah, I'm gonna have to do something with Stoicism over there. I just don't know. I don't know what, and I don't know on what scale. The next book that I've got 2 more books. I bought 5 books with my stimulus check. I never introduced that idea, did I? My stimulus check. I said, screw it. I don't do a whole lot of shopping. I haven't bought anything outside of food for the longest time. except for pants. I wear through pants in the thighs, and I have to replace my pants. But other than that, I haven't done anything really for a long time. So I went up to the Barnes & Noble, Modern Man in Search of a Soul by C.G. Jung. Jung was an incredibly interesting person. The thing for which I idolize him most is that he decided to critique this story if I'm getting it wrong somehow. But he was a psychologist who was particularly interested in the darker aspects of the human soul, such as depression. And he thought that depression was perfectly normal. Depression hits everyone. So he decided in his own life what he was going to do was he was going to explore it. The next time he felt a depression coming on, by God, he was going to dive headfirst into it and experience it for all it was. And it took him places. It took him a lot of places. So anyone who is willing to, I want to say risk all that, but dedicate all that to that which is his craft, I'm there for you. So there are 11 chapters in this. Dream analysis in its practical application, problems of modern psychotherapy, the aims of psychotherapy, a psychological theory of types, the stages of life, Freud and Jung contrasts, archaic man, psychology and literature, the basic postulates of analytical psychology, the spiritual problem of modern man, and psychotherapists or the clergy. Jordan Peterson often credits Friedrich Nietzsche as the smartest person he has ever encountered through text. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, he often credits Jung as being the second most intimidating person he's ever read. And there's something to that, right? Someone who's willing to credit Jung as the second most foreboding author there is. There's something to that, and Modern Man in Search of a Soul, if you can't tell between that and Stoicism. I'm doing a little bit of searching of my own. So, yeah. The last book that I have here is John Truby Presents The Anatomy of a Story. I have been blocked. I have been locked up. I have not been able to write thoroughly for quite some time. So I figured, why not get back into a book on the craft itself? The last good one I read was The Art of Fiction by John Gardner. That was over a decade ago. I've read books on craft in the meantime, but none of them were any good, so I might as well get back to trying to give them a chance. There are, again, 11 chapters in this. What a coinkydink. Number 1, story space, story time. 2, premise. 3, the 7 key steps of story structure. 4, character. 5, moral argument. 6, story world. 7, symbol web. 8, plot. 9, scene weave. 10, scene construction and symphonic dialogue. And 11, the never-ending story. Another thing that I hope to do on this channel is continue the Writer's Quotes series. I think what I'm going to do is, moving forward after April, because again, April, I'm going to have 34 videos in 30 days on this channel. 30 poetry discussions and 4 read-along videos. But what I'm going to be doing is, Mondays will be for poetry, Wednesdays will be for our read-along series, and Fridays there will be a writer's quote every month, there will be an opening paragraph video every month, there will be a TBR every month, and what else was it I was going to do? Something else here. I can't remember. something else I'm going to be doing. But there's at least 4 Fridays in a month, right? So opening paragraph, writer's quote, TBR, something else. I'll throw something else in there. Maybe a short story discussion. I don't know. I had a plan. I can't remember what my plan was, but that was the plan. So here are the books that I ended up getting. John Truby presents The Anatomy of a Story. Robert Frost, New Hampshire. C.G. Jung, Modern Man in Search of a Soul. The Daily Stoic, 366 Meditations on Wisdom, Perseverance, and the Art of Living. I guess they threw 366. They threw one more in case you're reading it on a leap year. Charles Bukowski, What Matters Most is How Well You Walk Through the Fire. Those were the 5 books that I got. Spent a pretty penny on it because it was at Barnes & Noble. Let me know if there's anything in any of these books that you want to see here on this channel or on my personal channel. Again, a link to which I will leave in the description below. But yeah, I hope to see you moving forward, and I hope to see you on my personal channel as well.